Hello again, everybody. This is Craig Evans of Autism Hangout, and thank you for tuning into this Autism Hangout special report. Now, we all know there are proven therapies and treatments out there to help our special kids, but some are difficult to locate, some are just too expensive to pay for, and some are just plain difficult. Well, today there's good news. ABA, one of the best therapies there is now become available online. And here today to discuss it is Garrett Butch of Maximum Potential Kids. Welcome, Garrett. It's really good to have you here.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here.
Now, where are you located?
We're located in Alpharetta, Georgia. We're about 30 minutes north of Atlanta.
Okay, and you're not necessarily new to the field of autism. You have a child that's on the spectrum, correct?
Yes, my wife and I feel like we're seasoned veterans. We have a 7-year-old who was diagnosed a little before his 2nd birthday.
Okay.
And go ahead.
Well, tell me about your exposure to ABA, and then tell us what it is that you're now offering online.
Sure. My wife and I, when we first were I say we because we felt like our family was diagnosed, we went through all the different types of therapies that were out there, and a lot of them worked and did very well. About 2 weeks after our diagnosis, we were able to come in contact with someone who did ABA, and she was phenomenal. And the interesting part about it was one of the first things she said to my wife and I was that you either sit through our every ABA session, or I'm not going to be able to work with your son. And foreshadowing what we're doing now, it really kind of hit home. 18 months later, my wife spent a ton of time working with my son. She sat through 20 hours a week of therapy, but she learned a lot. And by learning that, she was able to follow up and do a ton of work with my son after hours and really make a difference in his day. And that kind of really brought about what we're doing today. And the creation of Maximum Potential 2 years ago really stemmed from that very first conversation, because we believe that parents and even school systems have the ability to do this therapy. And it's not just about the hours they spend with the therapist, but it's about working with your children after hours. And for those out there that can't afford therapy, it shouldn't be, or parents should not be forced not to be able to provide some type of assistance because they do not have the financial well-being or because they live in rural areas. So that being said, that's how Maximum Potential was born.
Okay, so you are right now capable of teaching somebody online how to practice ABA. That would be like parents at home with their kids. But I also know you also have a focus on school districts. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Sure. And our therapy actually has gone, it's a DVD-based therapy, and there's a good reason behind that. We looked at the online model, but our goal for both parents and schools is to make this affordable and efficient. And we found that online stems to have reoccurring charges every month. Where our product, it's a one-time fee, and that's where a lot of parents get excited. But for school systems, our goal really has been that when I first brought my son into school, we knew that there were teachers that were trained. We didn't know if they were trained 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years ago, but we knew they were trained. And as most of us want, we push for our children to be included, which is an important aspect of their social skills and socialization. But the issue is that my son deals with 10 to 12 people a day. And out of those 10 to 12 people, only about 2 of them actually have some type of formal training. So what we did is we developed our school program to enable the school system to train every single person that interacts with our child. Now, we know that teachers such as general ed teachers and those that teach music and art and even bus drivers and lunch aides aren't going to do discrete trials. But if they can understand prompting and shaping and behavior management, even reinforcement and some data collection, it's going to make not only their day better, but the day better for the student.
Wow, you're putting this knowledge out in all these different places that touch the kid on a daily basis. What a great idea. Okay.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about the programs? Is this something that a parent can learn in like 2 days of sitting down watching this? Is it an ongoing thing? How does it work?
Good question. Our program is 5.5 hours. It's 17 modules on 8 DVDs. And what we do is we put it on the DVD so the parents and the school systems can do it on their own time, where they want, when they want. And the 5.5 hours, we don't recommend watching that in one day, but over the course of a few days or even a week, it gives them the opportunity to get the beginning skills. But like anything that you do, the first few times you do it, it's not going to be as good as the 20th or 30th time. So what we enable parents to do is they can go back and actually look at the videos again, they can see the examples that we have, because we have real children, including my son, in the videos. So you see what happens when a child has a meltdown. You see how to actually prompt and fade. And you see what happens when a child has a bad behavior and the skills you need to acquire in order to stop that or hopefully change that behavior to something positive.
Now, I know that you've also received some pretty significant endorsements at this point in time. Can you tell us who is involved in the design and who has endorsed your program at this point?
Absolutely. There are two doctors, Janet and Kobe Lund. They're Dr. Janet and Kobe Lund. They're both board-certified behavior analysts, and they've been doing ABA in the Atlanta area for the past 15 years. And Janet and Kobe have a well-run business called Integrated Behavior Solutions that has a number of children, and they're in about 25 school districts around the Southeast. And they're the ones that actually put together the program. When you see the instructions done from Janet and Kobe. But about 2 months ago, we got a great endorsement by Dr. Jim Parting, creator of the ABLES are. And it was fantastic. Having someone on board like him say the things he said about our program really hits home, because Dr. Partington's been in this world of autism for 30 years. And he has a fantastic product in the ABLES, and for us to be able to be kind of put in that same light really is a good feeling for us, because we worked extremely hard on trying to put this together to help families and schools.
I know the product is relatively new, but do you have installations out in the field right now, or trials that you've run? Have you got some early numbers back for success?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. We are right now, and it's in the hundreds. I don't have exact figures of numbers of families, but we're around the world. We're in the U.S., Australia, South Africa, China, Japan, Germany, England. We're in Canada, and of course the United States, and we're approaching 100 school districts across the United States that have implemented our program. Some is large in the top 50 schools in the country, and some with just one school in the district. And that's the flexibility of having it on DVD, is they're seeing the value, and that's really it. Our whole thing has always been, and it's our motto, it's giving children with autism a fighting chance. And at the end of the day, a parent or a school system can now train their staff forever, and that's the key word, forever, with a small fee, and that's what's been so important. My wife and I have spent $100,000 on our son, which we don't have. We don't want other parents to have to do that or have to go through some of the pain that we and other families have if they don't have the financial well-being.
Can you talk about what it costs for the program?
Our entire package for parents is $350. With that, it's the 8 DVDs that they get, and they can go out and train anybody that they want. There's no restriction. They can train entire families. They can train their community. We've actually trained a teacher this summer to work with our son, and she took him through some physical skills. We do a workout program called CrossFit, and my son, who's autistic, is doing CrossFit with an instructor who also knows ABA. For the school system program, we do it on a school license, and each school in a district, it's $1,000. They get our program, they get our data collection, which is paper-based now, but it's still effective, and they also get some picture cards that are hard to find and expensive. And we all know that our children love to tear up and chew up these cards, so they're digital, and then school systems can print them off, anytime they want. They get lost or destroyed. So $1,000 per school, and it's a one-time fee. And it's been some great feedback from both districts and parents saying how affordable it is for them to use.
At your rate, I mean, ABA is generally $80 an hour, if I remember correctly, across the United States. So you're talking 4 hours of cost to have something that you could refer to at any point in time for people that live at home. And for the school districts, that's incredibly reasonable to consider how many people that you can train with it. Okay, Garrett, go ahead.
And that's always been our goal. I mean, it's, you never want to make a parent or even a district feel like they're going, you don't want them to feel extended. It's difficult enough to have a child on the spectrum, but to then all of a sudden, lose every dime you ever made and put for the future is painful. We always do say that, especially for parents, having a board-certified behavior analyst around is a good idea, to ask questions for, because there will be things you can't understand, but this does give you the tools to be able to go out and create what we consider a better environment for your child.
Garrett, good for you for doing what you're doing. How can people get more information about you and your company?
They can go to our website, which is www.maximum.potentialkids.com, or they can call us at 877-629-7654.
Okay, geez, this is fantastic. Thank you again for doing what you do, and thank you for coming in today to tell us about your product.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it, and I appreciate your time as well.
Okay, and Autism Hangout, I'll be back again soon with another special report. Thanks again, Garrett, and you have a great day.
You too.